Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take two random characters, combine them using the Genetically Modified Overkill mod, grab a random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Hope you're all doing well. As always, of course, we are picking using the wheel, so let's spin and see what we get today. We have... It looks like the Curious. This is, of course, one of my favorite characters in the game. I really enjoy playing the Curious. There are some significant challenges that come with playing this character with a random weapon. And we have, in addition to that, the Ghost. Okay, this could be a very challenging character combination. So the way that the Curious works is that you get a loot alien every wave, or 2 loot aliens every wave, but you lose damage for every duplicate item or weapon we have. Now, with a random weapon challenge, I am going to go with 6 of the same weapons for this character, so we're playing with a significant penalty, which will make this a pretty challenging run. Let's see what weapon we're using. Alright, Icicle, not a bad one, even with the 50% damage debuff. We should hopefully be able to make that work. Now, Ghost does have the problem that its bonuses are for ethereal weapons only. And obviously, Icicle is not an ethereal weapon, but we should be able to make use of the increased dodge cap that the Ghost gives us to be very tanky, even with the significant loss of armor here. Now, obviously, normally, Gummy Berserker, not a good item, but for this character, Gummy Berserker is pretty good, because going from minus 100 to minus 101 armor, not a big deal at all. The extra attack speed and range are pretty good for this character. We'll take a Broken Mouth as well, and so now we've got some XP gain as well, because the Curious gets XP gain for every different item you possess. And then here, I am just going to take elemental damage. We're going to need as much damage as possible in order to be able to clear the loot aliens, especially because we're going to be taking a 50% damage penalty with all of our Icicles. Also, we're not buying Sharp Bullet because you don't want to lose damage per pierce on a weapon that has inherent piercing. That's great. We'll take a Gentle Alien as well, and then we'll reroll and lock another Icicle. Unfortunately, we're 1 material short of being able to buy a 4th weapon here, but that should be okay. So, obviously, when you start with a bunch of dodge, you are heavily incentivized to buy dodge, and of course, on the Curious, or on the Ghost, who has no armor, dodge is how we're going to try to defend ourselves, so it's going to be very important to get high dodge on this character. And we get 2nd loot alien kill. What you really want when you're playing the Curious is to make absolutely certain that you kill both loot aliens every wave. Now, we are also playing with a handicap, which is that in the GMO mod, the duplicate item indicator for the Curious doesn't work. So I have to remember that I have a Gummy Berserker and recycle it, otherwise I might have accidentally bought that Gummy Berserker. Here, we're going to pass on harvesting, and I also don't think we need crit chance. I'm going to look for percent damage or base elemental damage, and we'll take percent damage over the elemental damage, since it will allow us to offset the penalty that we have from playing the Curious. I will take 6% move speed, though. We'll take an Icicle and then roll, and grab another Icicle. We'll lock a coupon, and roll, and roll, and roll, and roll. Getting pretty expensive looking for Icicles, but I think it's still fine to just keep re-rolling here. Unfortunately, we missed many times in a row there, which is pretty unlucky. Even though the Curious takes damage penalties for having multiple of the same weapon, we still want to get to 6 of a weapon as soon as possible. Icicle is such a good single-target DPS weapon that we are still able to clear those loot aliens, even though we're taking a huge damage penalty, so that's definitely nice. And we made okay money this wave. Okay, so we have a coupon locked in the shop, but I guess I'll take the coupon here, and we probably will not then buy the one that's locked in the shop, since that would decrease our damage by 10%. We'll take 5% crit chance, and then here, 8% damage. And then we're going to unlock this coupon, buy an Icicle and a Gentle Alien, and then roll. Also, of course, everyone's project for this run is to put in the comments how many times I buy a duplicate item without meaning to. Always fun to see the times when I get caught on that one. I'm going to do one reroll here, even though I have an icicle locked, and yeah, small fish is definitely worth picking up. That's going to help us burst down those loot aliens faster. The Curious, of course, takes these penalties for every duplicate item. It's not like the King, where it's level 1 items only or something like that. Okay, we were able to pop the Lamprey and one loot alien and a curse alien. We got another loot alien spawn, which we're definitely not going to be able to kill, so I'm going to focus on DPSing down the one that I was going to be able to kill. Would have been really nice to get 3 of them, but loot aliens also get stronger each time you kill one, and have plus 25% base health on this character, so it can be really challenging to kill them later on. I guess we'll take a Cyber Ball. We don't have any luck right now, but that could help with some AoE damage that we might need. And then I'm going to reroll and take 10 attack speed. That's perfect. Here, we're going to upgrade our icicles, grab a small fish, pick up an icicle. Now, Bag is one of the items where it's potentially good enough to buy even as a duplicate item. This will cost me 10% damage, but we are getting 2 loot aliens every wave guaranteed. So even though it costs me 10% damage, the amount of money we're going to get from the bag, I think, is worth buying it even as a duplicate. That one, of course, doesn't count for accidentally buying duplicates because we did it on purpose. Killing the curse aliens is nice for the Curious, but it's most important to focus on the loot alien kills. So I'll kill the curse aliens when it's convenient, but they're going to absorb a lot of damage that could be put into a loot alien, so if it's not convenient, we won't try to get them. Oh, I was hoping to get that tree at the end there, though. Coffee we're taking, Coral we're not taking, Blindfold we're definitely taking. That's great. Getting a bunch of crit chance, which of course, for a precise weapon, which will have an increased critical multiplier as well at later levels, the extra crit chance is really powerful. And of course, the dodge is really good when we're the ghost, and we want to get to 90 dodge cap. I'll take 7 crit chance just because it's a high level upgrade there, and then we'll take 3 elemental damage. We'll buy an icicle, tree, and campfire. Roll, buy another icicle. I do want probably a combination of lifesteal and regen. It's hard to spec into just one or the other with the Curious, because every time you buy a duplicate item, so if we wanted just regen, if we bought another plant, then we would lose damage. So it can be very difficult to buy both. So you tend to want to build a combination of the two. I'll take charcoal here for the elemental damage, and then I'd say we're in pretty good shape. We need, obviously, some more percent damage to fix our penalty that we're taking. And more dodge would be good, more HP would be good, because right now I am at the point where an elite will one-shot me. And we certainly don't have the damage to kill it fast enough to be certain we won't take a hit. I will have to rely on movement to not take a hit against the elite. Always dicey. Okay, we got a dodge there, which is nice, because I don't think we'd have died, but it would have been closer than I'd have liked. I don't think we're going to have the ability to kill that second loot alien, just because my damage is pretty low at this point. So my clear speed was pretty bad. We already have a plant, so we're recycling that. I will take the defective steroids. I'm going to need more maximum health, and then we're taking 15 attack speed. Take the icicle, mutation, and cauldron, and then do a reroll here. Celery tea increases enemy health, gives us XP gain, which we already have. It is additive with the increased health that enemies already have. I actually don't know if it's multiplicative with the buffs that loot aliens get when you're playing the Curious. I'm genuinely not sure of that, but I think it is still worth buying. We'll lock the cake here, and then I'll roll, take a blood leech and a spicy sauce. Those are both fine. not exactly the way that I want to buy HP on the spicy sauce, but we need HP, so even at a premium, we will buy it. Also, as the Curious with double bag, we should be in okay shape in terms of just making money. The cursed healer spawning there was pretty obnoxious for us. It healed up all the damage that I did to the loot alien, which of course is already... we needed to do more since we bought the celery tea. And because it was a cursed healer, we couldn't take it out quickly, so we're not going to get any loot alien kills this wave, unfortunately, which is very bad. When that starts happening on the Curious, you are falling really far behind. Now, obviously, we had the celery tea, so you sort of expect that, but maybe that was a big mistake buying it. I'm going to take elemental damage here, and then 7 more crit chance. We're also not really getting offered any percent damage, but that's okay. Do a reroll here, and we'll take a tentacle. That's a good way to heal. I'm going to reroll again and go to wave 8. I actually maybe should have considered the glasses. This is a piercing weapon, and we can't really afford to take hits, so range is a little more attractive. And it gives us 2% XP gain, because we're the Curious. You can buy normally very bad items like glasses a little more on this character. And to be clear, I should have considered it and wouldn't have bought it. It's still not correct to buy it. But I should have at least thought about it. But you can buy normally bad items on this character a little more just because your shops will become constrained pretty fast to the point where you won't be able to buy kind of anything. So sometimes it's best just to buy stuff even if it's not particularly powerful, just because this character will eventually stop being able to buy most items that you find. I'll take the feather here. We do want more dodge. Gentle alien. So this would be minus 5% damage, because we get 5% and we lose 10% for the duplicate. But extra enemies and more HP, so I think I will spend 5% damage on the gentle alien here. Again, on purpose. Here, we're going to reroll, and I really want... Let's see. Do I want attack speed or crit chance? I think I'll just take the crit chance. We're up to 64% on our icicles, which is actually really nice. We'll take a mutation and a beanie. Oh, mutation was a duplicate. Okay, that one was an accident. And that actually really hurts, because losing 10% damage there is pretty bad. We have not found any percent damage upgrades, more or less. So we are suffering in terms of wave clear, so big mistake there. Don't know that we're going to be able to kill loot aliens this wave. We don't really have enough AoE clear speed to keep the wave clear for ourselves. And because I cost myself 10% damage, and of course, when you're at negative percent damage, losing 10% damage is much more impactful. The lower your stat is, the more impact changes to that stat have. I don't think it's worth losing 10% damage to get a coupon there. I'll recycle the snake as well. Okay, great. 12% damage. That's really nice. We'll take 2 elemental damage as well. I'll take the bait here, and mushroom, probably worth it. Also, we'll do a reroll here. I could take the eye patch. Extra piercing is still good, and extra crit chance is good, so I think I will take that. Again, now considering the glasses, but still not buying them. We'll take the icicle and the tree, and then do a reroll here, and weird food. It costs me dodge, which I really need, but it is also a very powerful healing item, so we'll buy it. And then here, let's go ahead and buy an icicle. Do I want to lock a garden? Probably. We are going to need ways to rapidly heal up, and it does not look like we're going to have the healing to be... healing or dodge to be particularly safe against the elite. I will say the extra pierce from the eye patch is very helpful, because we were kind of struggling to clear large amounts of enemies, and we do have double gentle alien. Wave 10 has a lot of enemy spawns on it, so having the extra piercing shots is pretty good. The loot alien is positioning itself perfectly so that I never get to attack it, which is very annoying. Okay, nice, I got it. It kind of hid behind all those other enemies, and I wasn't sure if I had killed it or not. Left a lot of materials on the ground, but we still did pretty well that wave. I'll definitely take the poisonous tonic. We'll take a baby elephant. We still have no luck to make that work, but it's still worth picking up. And then here, I'm going to roll for percent damage. Oh, dodge is also very tempting, though. Yeah, I think I'll take the dodge here, and then we'll take 2 more elemental damage. We'll buy the garden. We don't have a propeller hat, so I'll take that, and I'll roll. Shady potion I don't have, and that's a nice one. And I'll take a jelly. Again, just buying unique items on this character is often correct. We'll lock the fin here, and then do a reroll. And cute monkey we don't have, we can tell that. Spyglass, normally very good in duplicates, but when you're playing the Curious, certainly not. So we're going to pass on the Spyglass. But Cute Monkey is another way that we can heal. Of course, Icicle skills with elemental damage, not ranged damage, so we don't mind losing 1 ranged damage. 2 trees that spawn literally on top of each other there. That was weird. That, of course, can happen, it's just very rare. But you actually saw the other one get put, like the one that was spawning pushed the existing tree out of the way as it spawned. Very funny. Okay, now unfortunately this is a healer wave, which makes it pretty tough to kill loot aliens, but we did get 1, and the other one's over there. I don't think we're going to be able to get the other one here, because it's moving in a very awkward way for us, and yeah, when I try, I'm taking too much damage. We got a couple dodges there. If both of those dodges had failed, then I would have died. So nice to get at least 1 of those dodges. We'll recycle the cog. Ice cube, of course, is worth taking. Metal, we're going to take. So the armor is wasted here, but the percent damage is so important, even at the cost of crit chance. And we're going to recycle the plant. We'll take more attack speed. My crit chance on the icicles is not maxed out yet, so I will still need to boost my crit chance. So we're taking a fin. Peaceful Bee, we're very happy to pick up. We don't have one of those yet. And getting to 50% dodge makes our dodge a little more reliable. Roll here. At this point, I don't need a 3rd bag. I also don't need a 2nd tree. I often will take the 3rd bag on this character, but we're going into an elite wave, and our damage is not where I want it, so we're passing on that. And then I'm going to roll here. Okay, nice. Getting at least some icicle upgrades before going into the elite fight. So hopefully we have the damage to kill it. It's going to be hard to survive against it, so we probably do want to try to kill it. Wave 12 is kind of an awkward wave for us, though, just because there's a lot of enemies on Wave 12. Did get a dodge there, which is important, and another one. Trying to focus down the elite, but not give up on killing other stuff on the map. And maybe I should actually have just run away from the elite, because the amount of damage that it's absorbing, it meant that we gave up loot alien kills, and I don't think we're going to get it in the end. This at least is an easy elite to run away from. But turns out it was a mistake to try to attack it there. Adrenaline, great, we're very happy with that. We'll take an explosive turret, and then here 3 more elemental damage, and then I'm going to reroll, and reroll again. Do I just take 5% damage? I think we can do better, though. Yeah, we'll take 6 dodge. Now we're at the normal dodge cap, but of course as the ghost, we have dodge cap beyond that we can go. Let's upgrade here. We don't have a ritual, and that gets us some percent damage, which is great. We don't have a scar. Alien tongue we don't have, but I don't particularly need. I will take a fish hook. We'll definitely take an injection. Okay, we finally found a couple percent damage items, so it was unfortunate that we had to run from the elite last wave, and I should have paid more attention to whether we were going to be able to kill it or not. Ah, no. The loot alien getting buffed is very rude. Still managed to kill it, though. But at least we didn't die, and I was pretty worried about just dying. There are some elites that would have been much harder to fight. That elite is at least relatively easy to not take too many hits against. So as the curious ghost, we are, of course, presumably a cat, since curiosity must have been what killed us. Do I want the bowler hat? Losing 5 attack speed and 3 crit chance is pretty bad, but these are good stats, so I think I'll take the bowler hat. Going into wave 14, I think we can take the peacock. This character will die in 1 hit, or in 2 hits anyways, so we just need to be able to survive 1 hit if we buy the peacock here. And then this is great that we hit level 20 and can take 12% damage. That's what matters the most. And then we'll take 9 more dodge, going up to 69 dodge. We'll take the injection and the fish hook. Knot is honestly probably, if you are aiming for strictly optimal play here, you buy the knot, even though we won't be able to upgrade weapons. I just hate this item so much, I'm going to pass on it anyways. I'm not going to buy Scarf going into a wave where I have just bought Peacock. We already have a tree. Saltwater costs us elemental damage, so we're going to roll past that. We will definitely take the Icicle and the Cyclops Worm. Goldfish. I don't think we're strong enough to waste money on Goldfish. I will take another Icicle. Shackles, I don't mind my move speed being capped. The extra range is okay, and the extra regen is pretty good, so I'll take that. Now, do we want Greek Fire? We don't have a way to set enemies on fire currently, but if we find an incendiary turret, then it'll be good with the Greek Fire, and if we find a Scared Sausage, we would always take it, because it gives us elemental damage. So I'm going to lock it. We may not end up buying this if I'm feeling like we're going to struggle against the elite if we buy it right away. But we will hopefully get to see 2 boxes this wave, minimum, and one of those might have an incendiary turret or a Scared Sausage in it. So there's a chance that we just want the Greek Fire locked. And it would be very good for us. Enemies have increased health when you're playing this character, so the percent damage is even more powerful than normal. Okay, nice. Got that buffed walrus out of here. Need to kill the buffing aliens, because they are making it hard for us to kill things. Trying to pick up at least some materials here as we go. Maybe I should have grabbed that alien tongue earlier. We are having some trouble picking up materials. Okay, we're very happy with a barnacle. It's a unique item, so we know it's not an accidental duplicate, and all of those stats are going to be really good for this character. I'm going to reroll this, because I really want to get some percent damage, but I'll take 6 crit chance, and 20 attack speed is exactly the kind of thing that we need. We already have a sunglasses. Now, it might be correct to buy it anyways. Minus 10% damage for plus 10 crit chance might actually improve our damage output, but I think I'm still going to pass on it. And I think we are leaving the Greek Fire at home. Obviously, this means I will immediately roll into some form of burning, but it's it's a big cost to buy it right away when we're going into an elite wave where I really, really want to be able to kill the elite. And if we'd bought it, we wouldn't be able to buy community support, which is going to be very valuable. Yep, there it is, the incendiary turret. And the fact is that if we do get it, it's good. And, you know, we would buy it if we had the... if we had the setup for it already, but it's not necessary to our victory here. What is necessary is not taking a hit from the elite and dying immediately. And that's part of why I really wanted to buy something a little better. Because as you saw there, we took 40 damage and almost died in one shot when I got hit by the elite. So I wanted to find something like community support, which made it less likely that I would lose the run on that wave. Nice. Got a bunch of loot alien kills, which is perfect. And Broken Mouth, we already have one, so even the Cursed Broken Mouth, we're gonna pass on. Okay, losing 10% dodge, it's bad, but the Gobbler's Hat is so much money, so I will take the Gobbler's Hat. I don't believe we have a head injury yet. Yeah, I think I don't, so nice. Plus 6% damage is great. We'll take a crown as well, and then we'll fix the dodge that we just decreased. I'm actually going to take the attack speed over the crit chance, because 27% attack speed is really nice for us. And nice, our fishhook went off. That's perfect, so we are able to get a cursed icicle here. And then we'll upgrade an icicle, we'll lock a lucky charm. If I buy the bat, I can still reroll, so I am going to do that, and then we'll roll. I'll lock a bandana. If we get that cursed, it'll be really nice, and the extra pierce is still good anyways. So now I need to find some more movement speed, because the Gobbler's Hat just reduced my move speed a lot. But getting Gobbler's Hat and Crown, that does give you a lot of money. This run also, it's probably not immediately clear how much smoother this run would have been if I hadn't accidentally bought the second mutation. Losing that 10% damage was extremely bad, and it came at a really bad time where it snowballed the run against us for a long period of time, and we had to kind of dig out of that hole. So those types of mistakes will often come back to bite you much more severely than you would think. I'm gonna not buy the bandana here, because while I do want more piercing shots, it's not critical to us, and losing 10% damage is really bad. We will recycle and buy an upgraded icicle. We'll buy a lucky charm and then roll. And I already have a small fish. We're definitely buying Frozen Heart. We're definitely buying Leather Vest. Do I feel like losing 10% damage for a cursed small fish is good? Probably not. So I think I'm going to buy this. We'll buy this, and we'll try to curse the icicle with our fish hook. We've got both of those items, so let's roll again, and I'm going to roll again. I'm just doing some re-rolls here because we have fish hook, so we want to try to lock things. And with Gobbler's Hat, we have lots of money for the next few waves, so we want to make sure that we are getting really strong using that cash to its greatest potential. trying to pick up at least some of these materials here. Again, I am kind of regretting not picking up that alien tongue. I wasn't sure if we could afford it, but not picking up materials has been pretty bad for us. Decomposing flesh will get a couple more levels, so I'll take that. We don't have a silver bullet. Capping my max HP at 54, with minus 100 armor, that might be low enough that we get one shot by the bosses, so I think I do unfortunately have to recycle that. Fried rice I'm going to recycle as well. We still don't have a way to set things on fire, and that one's less important and more speculative. And then we'll take 10% damage here. I'll do a reroll, and we'll take 20 luck. Nice, we got the cursed level 1 icicle. Not the ideal weapon to get cursed of those, but we're still pretty happy with it. And let's reroll here. I guess we don't have a turret, so I can take a cursed turret. And I'll take a tardigrade as well. This is really nice. That gives me some leeway to mess up. The question is, do I want to leave this icicle locked and try to get it cursed? I think not. I think I'm just going to roll past it, and we'll try to find better items. Bloody Hand, so it would turn off the tardigrade immediately. We do have the regeneration to support the Bloody Hand, and it would be a bunch of % damage. So, unfortunately, I think we are bidding farewell to the tardigrade, because being able to buy 44% damage with one item is so good for this character. Now we're at a normal amount of % damage, and are suddenly in pretty good shape. We'll take the Scared Sausage. We will now actually buy the Chameleon. I do still want to get to dodge cap. Leather Vest would cost me 10% damage and 3 HP for 6 dodge. Now, dodge is so good when you have dodge already that it's actually not ridiculous to think about buying the leather vest here. I think it's not good enough, barely, but honestly, it might be. Here I'm going to roll, and we'll take the little muscly dude. That's perfect. Weird Ghost we actually technically can buy. We have enough regeneration that we will heal before the Bloody Hand tick comes in. And I don't have a Weird Ghost yet. And we actually do want max HP, so I think we will be buying the Weird Ghost next wave. We actually have enough regen, and we have the tardigrade, which will block the first hit, so we'll have enough time to heal up. But we will be relying on our lifesteal to keep us alive next round. But our max HP is really bad, and I am concerned still that we're in danger of just being one-shot by the bosses. In the late game, of course, enemies do a lot of damage. The bosses who normally do like somewhere around 30 or 35, when you have 60 HP, you can die in one hit to them as the ghost. So I really want to put myself out of range of dying in one hit, which is why we're going to buy the Wave 19 Weird Ghost. Pretty unusual purchase, but worth it for this character, I think. I will still take the jetpack, because that gets me to 90% dodge. So that's worth picking up. We'll recycle here. We'll recycle here. Gambling token. We don't care about losing the armor, and this means that if I find a minus dodge item, I can still buy it. Here, I'm going to reroll and look for max HP, I think, because that's the stat that I think matters the most. And yeah, if I get a plus 16 max HP, I'll take 9 crit chance as well, and then we'll reroll one more time, and 5 elemental damage. So that's great. We got a lot of really good items. Now, I need the Weird Ghost, but I'm going to buy it anyways, just for fun. We don't have a lemonade yet, so I'll take that. And I'll roll here. Cyberball we've got. Shady Potion we've got. Actually, I decreased my % damage at some point in there, so I think I did accidentally buy a duplicate at some point. Somebody let me know what that was. Let's see. We've got a Broken Mouth. I guess we decreased it with the Chameleon purchase and a few other things. We know we have some mutations. Clover, I don't care about. Incendiary Turret, I don't care about. Fireball, I don't think is particularly good. We'd rather just have the high single target damage. We've never gotten a Lure, and this does actually give us a little bit more regen, which will help keep us a little safer when we bought the weird ghost. Whistle, not usually great for the curious, because it makes all the guaranteed loot aliens show up faster, or move faster, so they're harder to kill. And of course, for this character, we don't want it. I've already got a bait, I believe, and Ugly Tooth we don't. Cyclops Worm is only plus 2% damage, because we already have one of those as well. So let's reroll past all this. Small Magazine costs me 6 damage for 10 attack speed, but attack speed is really good for this character, so I think I'm going to buy it. And then we'll roll, we'll lock an Icicle, and hopefully get that cursed, and then go to wave 19. So you can see we are healing faster than the incoming damage from the Bloody Hand. So we were safe to buy the weird ghost there. We'll, of course, want to heal up because enemies at this point, especially like a cursed enemy, could do somewhere around 40, 45 damage, given that we have doubled incoming damage as the ghost. So we need to heal back up pretty quickly. Make sure that we don't just get popped in one shot. And although we didn't need the weird ghost badly because we found a plus 16 HP level up, which obviously helps a lot, I'm still pretty happy that we bought it because 76 HP I think is going to be a much better margin of safety. Actually, probably a little bit more because we're going to level up at least one more time, maybe find a health item. Got 6 crates this wave as well. Our crit chance is high enough that our level 4 weapons crit 100% of the time, so we don't need the sunglasses. It would cost us 10% damage, but if we needed them, then 20% crit chance could still be good. Explosive shells doesn't do anything. I don't think we have a toxic sludge. We don't have a pearl. Pearl is a funny item for the curious because if you get 100 luck, pearls start being positive even in multiples, so you can end up being able to get, if you get at least 110 luck. So you will end up stacking pearls anyways on this character. So here I'm going to buy this pearl. It's going to be damage neutral for us. But if we end up with a little bit more luck, then it'll be good. And I take 27% attack speed, try to kill the bosses a little faster, and 16 HP puts us out of danger of dying to them. Sift's Relic we don't really need for the boss fight, so we'll pass on it. I'll take a Corrupted Shard. We don't have one of those yet. And then we will roll here. Glass Cannon, I don't have one. And of course, it is good for this character, given that we need percent damage and don't care about losing armor. Cyclops Worm, it's plus 2% damage for 140. Still worth considering going into the boss wave, because we might actually need 2% more damage, but I think we'll pass on that. We'll pass on all these. We don't have a potato. This is some good stats. And the lucky coin, I can't remember. Yeah, the lucky coin doesn't help with our pearls, because pearls are for permanent luck only. But we'll still just take the extra luck, because 160 more luck is good. Cyberball, we've already got. Pocket Factory we don't. I'm going to buy that one just for fun, just because I like Pocket Factory, and then we'll keep rolling. Take a leveled up Icicle finally. We can get our Cursed Icicle to level 2 here. Roll again, and we would definitely take the Baby Gecko if we had found it earlier, and the Sif's Relic if we'd found that earlier, and the Icicle would be nice to level up our Cursed Weapon, but we can't buy anything else, so let's see if we can kill the bosses before they kill us. And there you go, we took just about 60 damage, so it is good that I invested so heavily into HP. So when I got hit by the boss, even through our 90% dodge, of course the first attack hit me with a 10% chance. So it's really good that we invested in HP, because at 50 health, like we were at before I started buying health going into the last wave, we'd have died in one shot. So important to know the break points there. Alright, so let's look at these items. We made 500 materials off the Spyglass, 340 off our coupon, 1350 off our bags, so that's why it's worth spending 10% damage on bags, and often you'll buy 3 on this character, I felt couldn't afford it. The Celery Tea, I think, was a pretty big mistake. This character doesn't need XP gain, and this also set me behind, so I should not have bought the Celery Tea. Obviously shouldn't have bought the second mutation. You can see we've got 2 of those. That also was a mistake at around the same time that set me behind. The Gentle Alien we had 2 of, but on purpose. But the Gentle Alien ended up being worse because I made those other 2 mistakes, so it was harder for us to clear the extra enemies, so we didn't get as much value as I would have hoped from this item. What else? The fishhook actually did pretty well. We ended up with a cursed icicle, which is all we really cared about getting, and crown gave me 21 harvesting. Very little burning damage from scared sausage, because by the time we got it, we were killing everything in one shot anyways. And the pearls were... The first one, of course, is positive, and the second one was damage neutral. Alright, my friends, hope you enjoyed this run. Always a pleasure to play the curious and just see what comes out of these boxes. And the ghost adds some really interesting tension to runs, because you take double damage, so it's a little stressful to play, but I find it very fun, given how dangerous it is when the dodges don't happen. As always, of course, if you have enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, my friends. I'll catch you next time.